Guess what day it is? Guess what day it is? It's Monday. So anyway, earlier today, I'm on YouTube, bullshitting around, wasting what little time I have. And I don't really watch TV, but occasionally I'll get these, like, the clips from shows and stuff, like, the animes and stuff. And one of them was one of those, like, those anime tropes where the person dies and they get teleported to the magical world. And so I'm thinking, later on in the day, I'm at work, screwing around, not working, and I'm thinking, well, technically, we can't prove that that doesn't happen to at least some people. Like, for example, you say, me. So, hypothetically here, let's say that guy, the guy from the compensator pickup truck in the last episode, in the last video, he finds out I made that video about him, right? So, and then he sees that video I made making fun of him in his compensator pickup truck, and he's like, God damn it, nobody makes fun of my pick 'em up. And so he gets into his Ford F950 or whatever the fuck it is, and he drives out as I'm leaving for work, cuts through an intersection, and he just fucking slams into me. I mean, he shreds me to pieces. Like, I am but a fine red mist, alright? Or some other bullshit happens. I don't know. Maybe Trump and his boys finally get to me. But anyway, so nevertheless, I end up being cadaverated, alright? And I'm like, you know what? It's not all that bad, alright? Life's been pretty rough. I'm good for an afterlife, alright? I'll get the early retirement here, you know. I'll just chill meet some of the ancestors, see if every part of the generational tree here is as screwed up as I am. So anyway, instead of that though, I end up in a room with some kind of deity, alright, like in those animes. And as soon as I see that, I'm just like, oh shit, son, it's not over yet, is it? And it's not. So I end up getting teleported to a magical world, with like the wizards and elves and dragons and shit and all that. And um maybe you get, in some of those animes the person changes so they're not the same person. They're like a guy from a woman, or I think that's about it. I don't think it's ever been a woman to a guy in these shows. I don't know. I haven't seen them, all of them. But anyway, the point is, like, maybe I get turned into that 5'10" Mexican woman like it said on my fishing license that one time. See, now I'm putting it all together. The lore is coming together. It's creating a cohesive storyline here. So for the Rubidium Isekai anime here. So anyway, so I get teleported to this magical world, and everyone thinks it's all fun, and it's like most people be like, awesome, finally I get to do something with my life. I'll get my uh magical Excalibur sword here, get my um Kentuckian something or other. I don't have my glasses on, but I'll get my magical tool. I'll be fighting the evil wizards, alright? I feel like this would probably be infinitely more helpful to use in one of those scenarios where the wizards are shooting lightning and fireballs and ice spikes and shit. You know, level the playing field out a bit there. So, with my brown best Kentucky musket. So, and everyone thinks it's all good after that. You get your magical destiny, you get your superpowers or whatever you have, alright, all the wacky side characters and all that. But I feel like in practicality, the novelty of that would wear off pretty quickly. So, like, imagine instead of having a job and, a career path, you have a duty and a magical destiny, all right? And instead of managers, you've got like wizards, and, I don't know. I'm sure this is before penicillin was invented in that world, so you probably got like smallpox and like malaria and shit going around. But they do have magic, I guess, in this world. So anyway, so I get teleported there. I get my magical musket here. I'm a tall Mexican lady now in this magical world fighting a demon lich or something like that. It's all good. We're doing great. I don't think it'd be great. I think the novelty again would wear off pretty quickly. I don't really have a segue after that point, but let's say, in the future, all right, I defeat this evil wizard. I got my magical musket here. Maybe it's even enchanted. It shoots magical rounds out of it, like I shoot a round out of this, and instead of just a normal musket ball, it's like a laser, like um, like in that other anime show that I don't know the name of, but the one where the guy gets teleported to World War I, and he's like a little kid, and they're flying around with rifles, shooting lasers and shit, and blowing up buildings with their, whatever the hell it is, magical guns and stuff. And I get one of those, but I'm in like the medieval world. And when I shoot the musket, it makes the A10 Warthog gun sound. That would that'd be great. I'd take a that would make going to this other world worth it, in my opinion. Just that specifically would make it worth it. So anyway, after the fact, I've defeated the demon lich. It's all good. Some time later, somebody else gets someone else dies. Maybe not to the same guy in the compensator pickup truck, but someone else does. This time it's a woman to a man, maybe. We'll change it up. We'll be different. We'll be weird. So anyway, um, this person gets to this magical world after this, and the people in this magical world are like, "Oh shit, dude, you gotta help us get rid of this woman over here, alright? This gun-toting woman over here. She's even worse than the demon lich person. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. I'm just sitting over there on my uh wizard tower. I got my musket here. I can't really get this whole thing into frame here, but anyway. And so all these people, they're all terrified because some crazy ass lady appeared out of nowhere one day and just started eviscerating entire cities with her magical thunder stick. Um, Unless, of course, you get sent to the other world and you have to start over as a baby growing up. That'd kind of suck, though. Imagine having to grow up in medieval Europe. Yeah, I don't want to do that. But, I mean, again, though, that would make it worth it, though. Having an A10 gun that just on hand and you're fighting wizards and shit. And, I don't know, throw some other bullshittery in there, too. A robot somehow, maybe. I don't know. Um, And then later on, like even further down the line, you die in that world at some point, old age, let's just say. You live to like 150, all is good, and you slowly pass away in your sleep. So what happens after that then? Do you just like, from this medieval magical world, do you get sent to like a Paleolithic magical world before that? Like it keeps going further back in time. And then if you die in that world, you get sent back to like a Carboniferous world or some shit like that. Like it goes to a Jurassic world and then a Carboniferous world and then like I don't know, it keeps going further back. Or does it cycle around? And so after you die in the magical medieval world, you and your ragged band of friends get teleported to like a cyberpunk world. I don't know. I don't know. I guess I gotta wait and see. I gotta. Hopefully, it doesn't happen pretty quickly. Yeah. My brain doesn't always work very good, but I enjoy the way it glitches out sometimes. So, yeah, basically that's the moral of this story. When I die one day, maybe I'll get teleported to a magical world as a tall Mexican lady with a musket that shoots A10 bullets. A10 Warthog bullets. magical A10 Warthog bullets, you know. I don't know. Yeah, that's all I have to add, so, yeah.